Hi everyone, welcome back to Java 1 for All. In this video we are going to talk about the PosixFileAttributes, the one responsible for working with Unix system. And for that we are going to use our Ubuntu inside Windows. When you install the Ubuntu you don't have Java installed, but there are only two commands that are required for you to install. First you have to update the dependencies, and this is only updating the reference links actually. And then after you run this one, let me add here. So basically run this one, and after this one you just run sudo apt install default jdk. This is going to install Java 11. I ran this. It's a half gigabyte, so I'm not going to execute again. Even if I do, there is nothing to install. And then you can double check with java-version. Basically Java 1 for All, probably video 2 or 3, and you know how to do whatever we are going to do here. Now what do we need to do? First, I don't want to write the Java code in the VI, it's quite difficult, so I'm going to write in the IntelliJ, and then I will move the file here. But before that we are going to work with files, and we will need a new file. Let's clear. So let's create a file called file.txt, and then you just press insert and you can type anything inside, and then you press escape, and then column right here, and then X, press enter. Now if you type LL like love, you get the contents of the path we are. So in this case I'm inside home William Dev, and inside this I have basically this is telling that I can go back up to 2 directories, and then we have the file.txt. What I am looking here is for the permissions. So basically the first dash we have here represents if this is a file or directory. In this case, since we don't have the D, this represents a file. And then we have the permissions. Basically the first 3 owner, the second 3 is for the group of that user, and then this is the permission for any other user, maybe guests. So basically the owner who created this file can read and write. The group can read only, and others can also only read. So now that I have this content, I'm going to write a Java code here. So let's go back to task, create a new Java class, and then PosixFileAttributes test01. Yes, VM. So the first thing that we need is the path, and since we already did that several times, paths.get should be quite easy. My file there is on home William Dev, and the name of the file is file.txt. Press Alt Enter, then introduce local variable, and now files.read attributes, path, and the class that we are looking for, PosixFileAttributes. Alt Enter, create a local variable, and also add to the method signature, Alt Enter, deception. Okay, so if you try to execute this on Windows, you will get unsupported exception because, well, this class is created to work on Unix systems. Now I will just print the permissions here, out PosixFileAttributes.permissions. As you can see, the return is a set. We didn't talk about collections yet, but basically this is a collection, a group of POSIX file permission. So basically, if I go here, so this is just a group of objects, and the type of the object will be POSIX file attribute permission, and the set means that this group should not have duplicated objects. We are going to talk about collections in the future. Now that I have all this information, I'm going to copy. I will not include the package. I will just copy this and then I will go back to Ubuntu, and I will create here vi, and I need to create exactly the same file name. So if you're not sure, just copy the file name. Again, this is what I was talking about. Java 1 for all, probably video 3, 2, or 4. It's been a while. So create the file, go back to your code, copy this guy, and then you go back here, you press insert, and then right click, escape, column, and then X. Now Java C compiler, and then Java without the extension. Now the file.txt has permission. Owner can write and read, owner can write and read, and the group and others can only read. Exactly what we have here. Now I want to change. How should we change this? Basically the same thing as you did before. Files dot get file attribute view, passing the path, and then PosixFileAttributes view. So this is the class responsible for changing that class. Introduce local variable, and inside the file attribute view we have these set permissions. This set permissions is asking for a set of POSIX file permission. So we don't know how to create the set yet, but we can rely on a helper class, file POSIX file permissions with an S in the end, and then from string, and I will give the permissions owner read and write, not execute, and then read and write for groups and read and write for others, and then alt enter, introduce local variable, and we have the permissions, the set of permissions that we need for this method. And now I just have to print everything again through file attribute view, the one that we are changing, and we get the up-to-date reference. Read attributes, permissions. Now copy this entire class, except the package name. Go back to your Ubuntu, and then vi PosixFileAttributes stat0.java, and then you just press D as in Delta until you delete everything. Insert, right click. I didn't press insert, so just add one I to import, and then escape, column, X. Compile again and execute. So as you can see, before we had these permissions, and now we have here these permissions. So basically group can now also read and write, and owner can read and write as before, but others can read and write. If you type LL again, you will notice that there is a different set of permissions now. So basically that's how it works with Unix systems. So I hope you enjoyed. See you in the next video. Bye.